It's Reconciliation Week. It's an important time for Australia's First Nations people as we acknowledge our culture and our relationship with country, especially when it comes to growing and harvesting our native vegetation. Aunty Beryl Van-Oploo and well-known TV chef Kylie Kwong are trailblazers and educators when it comes to using Aussie native ingredients in cooking. Welcome, ladies. Now, we've all been friends for a long time.
Yes.
We bonded over bush foods and look, here we are, fully native garden.
I hope we remain friends for the rest of my life.
Forever.
Forever, indeed. Aunt, you've been in this area for a long time, but you grew up out west in the bush.
That's right. I come from Walgett, New South Wales. I'm a Gamilaroi lady, and I grew up on the riverbank up there on the Nemai and Barwon Darling River, and everything was done on the river. So that's how I learned to find the plants with my elders, and we just lived so healthy because we caught the fish in the river, we cooked on the river, we did an open fire, an earth oven they call it this day and age now, and it was just amazing, and I think that's what has kept me healthy.
Kylie, there were a lot of chance meetings that brought about your love of bush foods. Can you tell me about that?
Yeah, absolutely. When I discovered Australian native produce, it was a major light bulb moment for me. And of course, I wanted to learn from the best teachers, first Australians. And that's how I came across you. We met at Carriageworks Farmers Market, and I used to buy all of your beautiful produce. And you have taught me so much, Auntie, about how to prepare and cook native ingredients traditionally. You know, Auntie taught me how she used to steam fish, for example, wrapped up in saltbush leaves, or how you not only bake with lemon myrtle, but also use it in seafood and meat cooking. And remember, I always used to come to your store and buy up your stock of those delicious lemon myrtle butter biscuits. They were so good, and those beautiful jams and sauces you used to make.
That's right. That's where it all started.
That's where it all started.
Yes.
And then I sought you out. You were working at the Royal Botanical Gardens looking after all of the native plants. And I have to say, the last 10 years since I've met the both of you, my life has become so much richer. I mean, I'm just so blessed.
Even though you both come from different cultural backgrounds, there's so many similarities.
There is. Well, I mean, we just have this instant connection.
That's right.
I mean, we both love food and families.
That's right. And I think that's why we connected in the first place, because of that background. And then we got to talking about food and plants and what we could do. And that's why Kylie went into it, because she knows that in our culture there's sweet and sour, and that's what her culture is as well. So it worked.
Well, that was another discovery.
Right.
When I started cooking with or integrating native ingredients into my Cantonese-style cooking, there was this natural simpatico. And yes, we love sweet and sour, like the sweetness of the sugar bag honey, and one of my favourite ingredients, the Davidson plum, that sour, acidic flavour, so sweet and sour.
We're here in Reconciliation Week, but what does reconciliation mean to you, Aunt?
Reconciliation means to me where we can share our culture with other people, and our food mainly, because that's what it's all about, is sharing and caring.
For us, it's all about relationships, collaboration, community and families. But as you and I both know, it's always food that brings us all together.
That's right. Everybody has to eat.
Everybody has to eat. I'm going to head back to my restaurant now so I can prepare you a delicious bush tucker feast.
We'll be there, won't we, Clarence?
Oh, we'll be there, all right.
See you soon.
Thanks, Kylie. Aunt, it's such a beautiful day. Should we have a look around the garden at some of the plants?
Yes, that's great.
Who picked a great day to come up, Aunt?
Oh, it's a beautiful day. I'm glad I'm up here.
So a lot of these species you would have used in your own cooking.
Oh, yes, the saltbush. I use a lot of that in salads and savoury dishes, or I do chop it up and put it into sausage rolls, or, you know, it's a very versatile plant for me.
And a few of the others, like the bush mint and the river mint, you use those?
Yes, I use the bush mint because you only have to use a little bit.
Yeah, and that's the thing about a lot of our native species. The flavour is just so intense.
It is.
One of the favourites on the roof is the finger lime. We've finally got them to fruit.
Oh, that's great, because I use a lot of finger limes. I use them in savoury dishes, I use them in sweets, I use them in biscuits. It's also good for medicinal purposes as well.
It's incredible how, you know, something that we both grew up with and just took for granted, people are so interested in now.
Oh, yes, they are, and I know a lot of my friends are starting to grow it in their backyards as well.
Then there's the other end of the spectrum where people like Kylie are using these ingredients.
Yeah, we'll go down there. Maybe she's making SALTBUSH dumplings or something.
Let's go.
Hello. Hi, darling. How are you? How's my favourite aunt? My favourite flowers aunt. How are you, my brother?
Thank you.
Come see. All right, are you hungry?
Yeah.
Yes, we are.
This is our red braised caramelised
Wow.
pork belly with the native Davidson plum. And this one here is my stir-fried Australian native greens.
It's great.
They look so good. They smell so good.
This is my favourite dish, and there's about 4 different species in there. The warrigal greens, the saltbush, the karkala, which is that beautiful succulent on the top, and then there's some sea blight, and I've stir-fried it simply with vegetable oil, ginger, savoury, and sesame oil. So have a try. What do you think?
Delicious.
Delicious?
Beautiful.
Phew.
Really good. And how are most of your customers taking to these flavours?
The customers love it, and they love hearing the story of how it grew, how it was used traditionally, and they love the fact that it was literally grown and harvested 50 metres from the restaurant, thanks to Clarence.
That's great.
So, you've been using, you know, native plants in your traditional way. What do you think of the way I cook with it?
I think it's really great how you've combined it with the ginger to give it that
Excellent.
little bit of extra flavour, because the saltiness is there from the saltbush,
Yes,
and then with the warrigal greens, that's got a peppery taste.
yes.
And that combination is fabulous.
And I love the texture. You know, the succulent it's really juicy.
And the colours and the flavour of the native ginger.
This is an interesting looking drink, Kylie.
It's so beautiful.
What an aroma.
So this is what we call Lucky Kwong Community Soda. It's
that's
made from the saltbush from this site and also the native bushmeat, which you grew. And the pink is from the seeds of the Davidson plum. And 100% of the sales go towards Seed Mob, which is Australia's first Indigenous youth climate network. So it's a drink for good, and it's beautiful, what's more, and it's made from these beautiful Australian natives here.
That's great.
Well, it's all about culture, community, collaboration and celebration of Reconciliation Week.
Absolutely.
Cheers, ladies.
Cheers, ladies.
That's good.